The time is just gone 17 minutes past 9 as we continue with the broadcast this morning, the second half of the show, and still looking ahead at the show as we stay in the company of our Salam media listeners, our viewers. Next up, we are talking about the Robert Island Museum that sees to launch the 2023-2024 as the year of Robert Sobukwe, prominent South African anti-apartheid revolutionist and founding member of the Pan African Congress. We are also talking about the launch of a solo exhibition which is called the Wedding Salawat. We will be talking with Shakil Garda and also looking at the potentially hazardous truth behind the viral prime energy drinks and looking and talking to a dietitian, talking with Kathy McGaw this morning. So all of that to come on the show from now right until 10 a.m. But right now we're going across to be joined by the Chief Heritage Officer for the Robben Island Museum World Heritage Site. We're talking with Tshimangadzo Nemaheni. Tshimangadzo, good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wadi. And how are you?
Yes, I'm doing exceptionally well, and I've had a look at the media alert talking about the RIM Council launching 2023-2024 as the year of Robert Sobukwe. And this is extremely important because clearly it is about recognizing who the person was, who the man was, his contribution to the country, and just take us through some of the key issues in the press release of 26th of April.
Yes, you are right. The press release of the 26th of April is very detailed, and it talks about Robben Island declaring the year 2023 as the year of Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. It's one way of recognizing one of the struggle icons who have contributed so much in the liberation of this country. And that is why we had to ensure that we choose Mangaliso Robert Sobukwe, because his story is not much known out there. And as Robben Island, we decided that we need to be inclusive and make it a point that all those people that have fought for their freedom, for our freedom, should be celebrated in one way or another. And so Robert Sobukwe is one of them. We have done so in the past, where we celebrated Nelson Mandela, we celebrated Andrew Mlangeni, we celebrated Jafta Masemola, the longest prisoner on Robben Island. And this year we decided that we have to celebrate Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe in the form of declaring the year of Robert Sobukwe, which will be followed by activities that will be taking place thereafter.
Yes. Now I know it's there's a lot of work that actually lies ahead because we know that the Robert Island Museum will be arranging a whole host of activities over the next year. And these are going to be extremely important because, talking about the man, seminars, exhibitions, all of this at the end of the day to make absolutely sure that this is one man who is not forgotten and he will remain, in for years and for generations to come. His achievements, his sacrifices, and his contribution to the country's democracy is never ever forgotten.
Surely, yes, we don't want to forget our struggle heroes. We have to learn where we come from, especially the values of Robert Sobukwe, who was the person who sacrificed a lot. He sacrificed his family, he sacrificed his own life for the sake of fighting for freedom, the freedom that we are enjoying today when he's not around. So
Yes,
there will be
and
a lot of those activities that you have mentioned. Yeah.
and also when one looks at the place, Robert Island itself and the museum, it holds in the heart of South Africans, and also not only South Africans but internationally, because we see it year after year. Many people that we get to speak on the media are always telling us, that they've been to Robben Island as well. So, this is not only for us as South Africans. This is basically aimed at showcasing Robert Sobukwe to the international community.
Yes, firstly, Robben Island is not it's not only about South Africa. Robben Island is a national heritage site, of course. It is also a World Heritage Site. It is a marine protected area. And those statuses that are afforded to Robben Island, they are not afforded to any, not every site can get those statuses. So it shows that Robben Island itself is of significance to the world and to humanity. And that's why we are celebrating an Africanist year this year, which is Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. For him, it was about human race.
Yes, and you're interesting as you speak about human rights, because human rights, whether we're talking about human rights from a South African context or looking at human rights right across the entire world, on the African continent, in many other parts around the world, and we know that has become a major, or it's become a fundamental problem in many countries right across the entire world, and this is the reason why this is so important, particularly for global visitors. And we know it's already an extremely popular tourist destination. In fact, it's one on the schedule of many international tourists that come to South Africa, and the potential is there to even make it bigger than what it is at this point in time.
Yes, of course, we just want to make it a point that we give different offerings to our tourists coming from around the world. It's not only about one person that will be celebrating. There are many people. We need to ensure that Robben Island is known for imprisoning different people, different layers that we have currently, from 1400 up until 1991. All those layers, we are going to make it a point that they are added to our story, and in a form of celebrating them on a yearly basis. And as we have started with our heroes, we are also going to ensure that we celebrate other layers. There are other layers like the leprosy layer that we have honored last year. And this year we are going to celebrate our traditional leaders that have been incarcerated on Robben Island during the time of during colonial period, or during the time of British rule in the Cape. So
Tshimangadzo,
all,
just talking about the team that is involved, because you are the chief heritage officer for the
yeah.
museum, but I'm sure behind you there is a team, and I've also seen the name of the likes of Professor Seth Cooper being mentioned in this press release, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are behind this effort, and the program, looking the program for the year ahead.
Yes, of course, Professor Seth Cooper is our chairperson of council, and they play an oversight role. And as management, we have to unpack the vision of the council in the next 3 years, and declaring Robben Island, 2023 as Robben Island, the year of Robert Sobukwe, means that we have to unpack the activities that we are going to work on. There are a number of activities, like we are going to have exhibitions that are going to be there in the Sobukwe complex, especially. And we are also going to have exhibitions at the Nelson Mandela Gateway, where you take your ferry to the island. There will be video clips that will be played both at Nelson Mandela Gateway building, and also the the at the boats. So
Mm.
there are a number of activities. There are so many, including the fact that we are going to have Robben Island has got its own programs for children and the public. It's called Outreach Program, and we are visiting all the 9 provinces of the country, and it is our duty now to ensure that Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe is known out there amongst the local South Africans, both
And
children.
all of this coincides with 30 years of our democracy, and that is important.
Yes, it is very important because it coincides with our 30th year of democracy, and it also coincides with birth, the 60-year anniversary of the birth of the Organization of African Unity. Robert Sobukwe himself was an Africanist, so it couldn't be a good time to celebrate him this year from this month. Thank you.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to that, and I'm sure from time to time we will get updates on developments as we progress with this initiative. So, but for now, we thank you, Tshimangadzo Nemaheni, for your time with us this morning right here on Salam Media. All the best to you, sir.
Now, thank you very much, and we invite you, all of you, to come to Robben Island. It's a place to be. It's a site of choice around the country and throughout the African continent. Thank you very
Well,
much.
we certainly will take up that request and that invitation. Thank you very much for that as well. But for now, as I said, all the best on this project, and I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. And it's a major milestone for us as South Africa as we celebrate our democracy. Please take care.
Thank you very much.
The Chief Heritage Officer of the Robben Island Museum World Heritage Site, Tshimangadzo Nemaheni, with us this morning. With that, we're going to go for a break. We come back, we'll be joined by our very own Shakil Garda. We're talking about the wedding salawat, another milestone, and this is the launch of the first solo exhibition.